You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts now.
I'm back. Rodrance for Black and White Live. Well, let's talk about the Houston Astros because we've got and I'm going to say it, we got a woke media member with the Associated Press that has decided to write a hit piece on the Astros. Now, the reason I go there is because he drags the Atlanta Braves into this hit piece by taking a shot at them over the tomahawk chop. Yeah, so we know where this guy stands far as his leanings go. Let's put it that way. So we're going to get to this because he's talking about how badly he doesn't want to watch the World Series because the cheaters are prospering by getting in the World Series. Now, we got to remember the cheating issues involving the Astros were from 3 or 4 years ago. And here they are. Some people I have heard say this is a potential redemption story for the Astros because, far as anybody can tell, they have done this legitimately. They have gotten to the World Series legitimately. Well, evidently there's a lot of people still mad. I know for a fact Dodger fans are still pissed. I've seen that a lot on almost every Astros video that's ever done. In regards to the cheating, that's fine. But we're in a new year, we're in a new season, and the Astros are back in. And I can tell you right now, I am no Astros fan. Stop if this sounds familiar. The World Series is here, and so unfortunately are the Houston Astros. For the third time in just 5 years, if you're keeping score at home, and yes, they brought their baggage along. The difference this time, we know who they are. So this guy's just saying they're cheating this year too. That wasn't the case in 2017 when the Houston players banged garbage cans and hit like they knew what was coming in beating the Dodgers in 7 games. Now, I will say this. There was a story that came out, I believe it was from the White Sox. One of their pitchers said they thought something shady was going on when the Astros were at home. I don't know, but that's what he said. That wasn't the case in 2017 when the Houston Astros banged garbage cans and hit like they knew what was coming and beating the Dodgers in 7 games. It wasn't the case 2 years ago when the core group of Astros that is still with the team got a free pass in a losing effort against the Nationals because their cheating ways had yet to be exposed. I know a lot of people are mad at Rob Manfred because they feel like they did not come down on the Astros. We know managers and GMs got fired, but now we know. Even as we try to forget, we know. Tune in Tuesday night if you're so inclined, though for many this will be a tough World Series to watch. The side of the Astros, like Carlos Correa, Alex Bregman, Jose Altuve at the plate, will be a painful reminder of what happened in recent past and a constant reminder that none of them has missed even one paycheck because of it. Many of the same players who stole a title are playing for the trophy once again. Meanwhile, the Dodgers fell just short of the World Series, depriving them and their fans of their rightful chance to set things right on the field. They likely may never get another chance again as years go by and players move on. There will be no closure because Commissioner Rob Manfred decided the players who actually perpetrated the scheme should, for some reason, not be punished. Okay, well, now we know he's pissed at Rob Manfred. Now, the question becomes, is it time to let go? ? Will it ever be time to let go? The answers aren't terribly hard to figure out. Viewed at their worst, the World Series favorites consist of a group of unapologetic cheaters who don't deserve their names on one World Series trophy, much less a spot on another. At their best, well, the Astros are a bunch of unapologetic cheaters. Well, you try to fill in the rest. No, the Atlanta Braves aren't perfect, but their only real crime is continuing to allow their fans to do the incessant tomahawk chop and chant that was tired and offensive when Jane Fonda and Ted Turner were doing it back in the 90s. God. Compare that to the Astros, who should have collectively been charged with felony grand theft for what they did in 2017. The distaste about what transpired that year is only heightened by the arrogance of those who never even got a letter of reprimand for their actions. No, not at all. The current Astros were on that team, but this team still has that 2017 smell, even if all the cheaters aren't still around. The thought of them lifting another World Series trophy should disgust baseball fans and fans of fairness everywhere. Any idea that they should be celebrated by anybody outside of Houston for getting to a third World Series in 5 years is indefensible. They cheated other teams. They cheated other players. Most of all, they cheated a game that had enough problems even before they began banging on garbage cans to let their hitters know what pitch was coming next. And the only the Astros have in their favor is Dusty Baker is now in the dugout, and that makes a lot of baseball fans conflicted because Baker deserves better. He is a baseball treasure who probably should have had at least 2 World Series rings as a manager by now. Even Dodger fans can't help but secretly root for the man who once patrolled Baker's Field in Dodger Stadium, and by now, he's been long forgiven for dugout mistakes made at stops along the way. Watching Baker finally get a ring as a manager at the age of 72 would be epic, but watching him celebrate with a bunch of cheaters wouldn't. At some point, of course, we'll all have to move on. Grudges can't be kept forever, and in a few years, all the cheating players will be gone. For now, though, the wounds are still too raw, another World Series looms, and there are still too many players on the team who were part of the scandal. The home faithful will be cheering wildly Tuesday night as the Astros open a 7-5 favorite to win another World Series. The rest of us won't. That is Tim Dahlberg, a national columnist for the AP. Now, I did hear on a radio show that I listened to, a national show this morning, and they did speculate, is this going to be the worst TV-rated World Series ever? Now, last year was the worst ever. However, you were coming off of a shortened season, pandemic, limited fans, all that sort of thing, they believe attributed to lower ratings. But the other thing that was brought up was the fact that the Astros were involved in this World Series, and many baseball fans cannot stand the sight of this group of Houston Astros. They cannot stand the sight of them. Now, we got to remember there was some indiscretions from I'm a Yankees fan, but there was indiscretions from the Yankees, the Red Sox, all kinds of things across the league. Alex Cora was involved with some stuff. Look, it's always been my theory, and it's not a popular theory, but that's okay. It's my theory. It's always been my theory. There's always, and time has proven this, there has always been some kind of cheating in baseball, whether it was corked bats, whether it was pitchers putting substances on balls, which showed up this year, and it seemed like maybe that was rampant across the entire league. It's always been something. Steroids, amphetamines. That was always a deal. There's always been something. I don't know what it is about the sport of baseball, but there's always been some kind of cheating involved in baseball. I know it rubbed a lot of people. I'm not going to lie. I didn't like the fact that Astros players didn't get reprimanded. I didn't like that one bit. Because, look, even steroid users, they have been penalized, many of them, by not being awarded entry into the Hall of Fame, which would have been a slam dunk for most of those guys that haven't gotten in, okay? I mean, we know Barry Bonds is not in there right now, even though I contend he was a Hall of Famer before any of his body ever changed at all. Because he did have, I believe, 3 MVPs before he went, just exploded in his size and strength and everything else. But It's blatant. I mean, this columnist is saying right here that people do not want to see the Astros in the World Series again as long as this group of players is involved with this team. Me, I'm totally indifferent about it. I'm fine seeing the Astros in. I'm nor an Astros hater, nor am I a fan. I am pulling for the Atlanta Braves because I felt like they got a raw deal with the whole All-Star game thing earlier in the year. So that's why I'm pulling for the Braves. Tell me what you think, Black and White Live fans. Are you still mad or are you angry at the Houston Astros? I know John Matrix isn't, but he's an Astros fan. Peace. I'm out. Till next time.
Thanks for watching the show. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to tune in next time on Black and White Sports.